this video, we will discuss about the structure of rectum. The rectum is the most distal segment of large intestine. It has an important role as a temporary store of feces. It is continuous proximity with the sigmoid colon and terminates into anal canal. About its anatomical structure. The rectum begins at the level of S3 as a continuation of sigmoid colon. It is microscopically distinct from the colon with an absence of tinea, haustra and omental appendices. It begins at the level of S3. This is the rectum. This almost come to the level of S3, that is sacral vertebra 3. Then it has no tinea coli, haustra and omental appendices. This is omental appendices, this is tinea coli and this is haustra, circulations of large intestine. These structures are absent in the rectum. It has two major flexures, the sacral flexure and anorectal flexure. The sacral flexure is the anterior-posterior curve with the concavity anteriorly. It follows the curve of sacrum and coccyx. Anorectal flexure is the anterior-posterior curve with the convexity anteriorly. This flexure is formed by tone of puborectalis muscle and contributes significantly to fecal incontinence. Here you can see sacral flexure which follow the shape of sacrum and coccyx. This is the anorectal flexure. This is formed by puborectalis muscle. Additionally, there are three lateral flexures. They are superior, intermediate and inferior. They are formed by transverse fold of internal rectal wall. Here you can see upper lateral flexure or superior lateral flexure, middle lateral flexure or intermediate lateral flexure and lower flexure or inferior flexure formed by folds of internal rectal wall. It has characteristics three constant transverse fold and these folds are Houston wall. They are formed by rectal mucosa in the internal wall. The middle rectal fold is called a Colroche wall. It is the strongest of three folds and they are located above 7 cm from the anus. The three transverse rectal folds are called a Houston wall, in which the middle one is called a Colroche wall. This is the strongest one. Tumors below this fold may be palpable during digital rectal examination. There are three transverse folds, 1, 2 and 3. Three transverse fold of rectum. They are called Houston's wall. In this, the middle is called a Colroche wall. There is a final segment called a rectal ampulla. It is a section between Colroche valve and anorectal junction. This is ampulla. It is a section between anorectal junction. Here comes anorectal junction and this is the Colroche valve and these two hollow structures are called a ampulla. It is quite stretchable and serves as a reservoir during defecation. It is continuous with the anal canal, which passes through pelvic floor to end as the anus. This is the anal canal. This is the ampulla. It is continuous with the anal canal. So far is the macroscopic anatomy. Now let us see microscopic anatomy of rectum. The rectum is similar to the rest of large intestine with its usual structure. Similar to large intestine, the rectum also has 4 layers in its wall, inner to outer, mucosa, submucosa, muscularis, serosa or adventitia. These 4 layers can be easily remembered using the mnemonic MSMS, mucosa, submucosa, muscularis and serosa. The first layer is the mucosal layer. It is the innermost layer. It has three layers: epithelium, connective tissue, and muscle layer. The epithelial layer is with a simple columnar epithelium consisting of enterocytes and globular cells. It is followed by connective tissue layer, and that is called as lamina propria. It is rich with blood vessels and lymph vessels. And the third layer is muscle layer, and that is called as lamina muscularis mucosa. This is the rectal wall. This image is the cross section of the rectal wall. Here you can see the mucosal layer. The second layer is submucosa. It contains loose connective tissue with blood vessels, lymph follicles, Meissner's plexus, and a network of veins. The Meissner's plexus are nothing but nerve plexus. The dense network of veins is thickened at the transverse fold. Here you can see submucosal layer. The third layer is muscularis layer. It has typical inner circular and outer longitudinal musculature between which Auerbach plexus lies. This is the muscle layer. It has circular and longitudinal layer. Between these two layers, another group of plexus called Auerbach plexus lies. The ring musculature continues as sphincter ani externus muscle within the sphincter system, whereas the outer longitudinal musculature continues as corrugator cutae ani muscle inserting at the skin around the anus. The third layer is muscularis layer. It has typical inner circular layer and outer longitudinal layer, in between which Auerbach plexus lies. This is the muscle layer. And the last is the serosal layer. About peritoneal coverings of rectum. In the superior third of rectum, the anterior surface and the lateral sides are covered by peritoneum. The middle third only has anterior peritoneal covering. The lower one third has no peritoneum. Upper third has peritoneal covering in the anterior and lateral side. Middle third has peritoneal covering only in the anterior side, and lower third has no peritoneal covering. In males, the reflection of peritoneum from rectum to the posterior ladder wall forms a retrovesical pouch. In male, there is a pouch called a retrovesical pouch between rectum and the urinary bladder. That pouch is formed by reflection of peritoneum. In female, it is called a rectouterine pouch. In between urinary bladder and the rectum, the uterus lies in females. So, the peritoneum forms a pouch, and that is called a rectouterine pouch in between the rectum and the uterus. That is called a pouch of Douglas. This is in male. It is called a rectovesical pouch. This is the urinary bladder. This is the rectum, in between which there is a pouch of peritoneum called a rectovesical pouch. In female, this is rectum, this is uterus, and in between there is a pouch, and that is called a rectouterine pouch or pouch of Douglas. About anatomical relations of rectum. It is located within the pelvic cavity. Its anatomical relations are different in men and women, especially in the anterior side. This column says anterior relation of rectum in male. This is anterior relation of rectum in female, and here it is a posterior relation. In male, anteriorly we can see rectovesical pouch, sigmoid colon, ileum, bladder, prostate, and seminal vesicles. In female, rectouterine pouch, sigmoid colon, ileum, vagina, and cervix. Posteriorly, the relations are same in both sexes: sacrum and coccyx, piriformis muscle, coccygeus muscle, levator ani muscle, and sacral plexus. This is the relation of rectum in female. This is the rectum, this is vagina, urethra, bladder, and uterus. About neurovascular supply of rectum. The rectum receives arterial supply through three major arteries. The three arteries are superior rectal artery, middle rectal artery, and inferior rectal artery. In this image, you can see the three arteries. Inferior rectal artery, which is a branch of pudendal artery. Middle rectal artery, which is a branch of right internal iliac artery. And superior rectal artery, which is a branch of inferior mesenteric artery. About venous drainage. It follows the same pathway as artery, which include superior, middle, and inferior rectal veins. The superior rectal vein empties into portal venous system, while the middle and inferior rectal empties into the systemic venous system. The anastomosis between portal and systemic veins are located in the wall of anal canal, making this a site of portocaval anastomosis. The major veins are superior, middle, and inferior rectal veins. In this image, you can see these veins. Middle rectal vein, inferior rectal vein, and a superior rectal vein. About nerve supply. It receives sensory and autonomic innervation. The sympathetic supply is from lumbosacral splenic nerve and the superior and inferior hypogastric plexus. The parasympathetic supply is from S2 to S4 via pelvic splenic nerve and inferior hypogastric plexus. The visceral or sensory fibers follow parasympathetic supply. This is a sympathetic trunk. Here you can see superior hypogastric plexus. This is the pelvic splenic nerve. Here is the pudendal nerve. This is the inferior rectal nerve. This is the perineal nerve. Here is the pelvic plexus. About lymphatic drainage of rectum. Lymphatic drainage of rectum is into pararectal lymph nodes, which drain into inferior mesenteric nodes. Additionally, the lymph from lower aspect of rectum drains directly into internal iliac lymph nodes. In short, the lymphatic drainage is into pararectal lymph nodes and the internal iliac lymph nodes. Here you can see right internal iliac nodes. This is the left internal iliac nodes and this is the pararectal nodes. Let us see about clinical relevance of rectum. First, about digital rectal examination. It is the examination of the rectum by inserting a finger through anus into it. By this procedure, we can palpate some structures in males like prostate, seminal vesicle, sacrum, and coccyx. In females, we can examine cervix, sacrum, and coccyx. This is the image. This is the prostate, which can be palpated by inserting a finger through anus into the rectum. That is digital rectal examination. About clinical condition of the rectum, one is called a rectal intussusception. While discussing the large intestine, we have seen what is intussusception. It is the telescoping of small bowel into the large bowel. So this is the rectum. The rectum is the small bowel and that is invaginated into larger calibered colon. The rectum is invaginated or telescoped into colon. That is the rectal intussusception. Here is the prolapse of the rectum. The rectum is seen outside the anus. About rectal polyp. It is the growth or mass protruding from the mucous membrane. This is the mucous membrane of rectum. A mass is protruded from here. That is called a polyp. It is flat here and this is a polyp with a stalk or with a stem. This is the end of discussion on anatomy of rectum. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share.